So for the part where we're talking,
Hello, this is Michael Ewer, and I'd like to invite you to the Michael Ewer Show, featuring student hosts and very special guests talking about a variety of interesting topics. You can find us on the Eagle Stream YouTube channel.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Michael Ewer Show. It's a pleasure to have you guys here. Today, we're going to be talking about engineering, and we have very great people that we have here today that are going to be hosting the show, and as well as guests that are going to be part of the show. So, if you guys would like to introduce yourself, again, my name is Marjorie, and I am a host, a student, a success coach ambassador, as well as an associate in engineering and science student. I am also the treasurer for SGA, and I'm also part of National Society for Black Engineers. So if Damien would like to introduce yourself to the people.
yeah, of course. Good morning. Well, really good afternoon, everybody. My name is Damien Johnson. I am I'm an associates in engineering student here at Wake Tech. I'm about to finish my last semester here. I am a C3 scholar, and I was a start intern for about 2 semesters. Um, and I'm also a co-host on the Michael Ewer Show from time to time. I'm the vice president of the National Society of Black Engineers that we have here on Wake Tech, and sometimes I'm in physics and math club. So it's nice to be here today. Kevin, it's nice to see you too.
Hey guys, it's nice to see everyone here again, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kevin Reza Villa. I am a student leader here. I guess I'm in the Student Government Association. I'm a senator. I'm also a START ambassador, and I've been a START ambassador for the past 2 years as well. A START intern for the past 3 years. But that's enough about me. How about you, Cale?
Hey everyone, I'm Cale. I'm an associate in engineering student. This is my second semester. I'm new at Wake Tech, and I'm in the honors program and looking to learn more and grow with you guys. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna have some videos that we're gonna see about what we have going on as the engineering department, and stay tuned.
The Care Center is here to provide wraparound services for our students for when out-of-the-classroom challenges arise. I'm Mike Coleman, Dean of Student Engagement and Impact here at Wake Tech.
My name is Magdalene Christ, and I'm a student at Wake Tech in the Associate of Science program. The Care Center at Wake Tech has been a great hub for resources
such as food, success coaching, technology support, brief mental health counseling, emergency financial assistance, and transportation assistance.
I've gotten a lot of great help with questions and just navigating Wake Tech. If I'm ever having a tough day or a tough time in class, the student success coaches are always there to help me whenever I need it.
Students can connect with us by visiting one of our locations, online at our website, or by email.
So to my fellow students, if you ever need help with anything, the Care Center is your one-stop shop, and I highly recommend.
And most importantly, we are here to support our students and make sure that they soar.
It's no surprise that many leaders start their careers in engineering. Engineers are curious, creative, and methodical. They're problem solvers and thinkers, and they work in biotechnology, construction, and everything in between. With an associate in engineering degree from Wake Tech, you're on your way to a career in engineering, computer science, or other professional fields that count on a strong background in math and science. Our program is designed to be a practical start for students who are interested in furthering their education at one of the many four-year universities in North Carolina and beyond. We've developed advising tools that are personalized and specific, so you can develop a plan that takes you from aspiration to achievement. With on-campus, online, and hybrid programs available, it's never been easier to discover your future at Wake Tech.
That was a brief introduction to the Associates in Engineering, guys. But I also want to just make sure that we point out that we're definitely using our Care Center. It's got tons of resources that we can all go to. I know I definitely go for a lot for emergency aid as well as success coaching, which is really important as an engineer. It's a skill that you want to build. Moving on from that, we're going to talk briefly about some success strategies that we all have. I kind of want to start it off with Kevin. You said you've been in Start for almost 2 years. You're a Start ambassador. I'm sure you also have some pretty difficult classes. What are your success strategies and managing all that?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm just gonna keep it brief. I will be honest. I think what allows me to be successful in school is just taking advantage of the school programs that we have. Whether it's getting tutoring from the IOC or getting support from the care center when I need it. Just admitting that I need help at times, and having the courage to go ask for others for help when I need it is probably just the best thing anyone can do.
I can totally agree with that. Marjorie, what about you?
Oh yeah, just like what Kevin said, always going and asking for help. It's always good to like ask people for help if you do not know what you're doing. I personally like to use the ILC more. It is a great opportunity that we have to get free tutored, because like most people have to pay for that. And the fact that it's free, we get so much help at the ILC. I'd also recommend the STEM Center. It's really good if you're taking science classes, engineering classes, and math classes. It's definitely the place to be if you really need some help or anything. So yeah, mostly I do that. And then just, learning to balance between school and extracurricular activities. It's always a hustle, but like it's great to do stuff like that. Also, making study groups and being part of like, some engineering stuff, like what we've been having going on the whole month. We've had engineering pathways, we've had, to meet with different engineers. So it's always been like a good thing to network with people who are in the same field so that you can know exactly what to do, how to do it, and it always helps.
Thank you so much, Marjorie. Kale, what about you, man?
Successes. Yeah, I would say to work hard, but don't take yourself too seriously. Enjoy the time that you have, because when it's gone, it's gone. I'm not saying that you can't come back to school, but yeah, take advantage of what the other guy said is perfect. Like, utilize the programs and services and make connections. Make it personal, make your degree personal. Meet people, go for coffees with professors and just ask questions. That's it for
Go
me.
go for coffees with professors. I mean, I wish I could get a coffee, a coffee with one of my professors, right? It's
I had
barely
one
time to
just
get
had one
there.
like 30 minutes ago.
Really? Actually, I think I might have done that one time. I was networking kind of like you're talking about, and we actually did go out to get coffee. So that was a good time. But thank you guys so much. I actually have two strategies that I think have really helped me out in the last 2 semesters as I started taking some of the harder engineering classes that you guys might end up taking if you're getting your associates, things like statics or your calculus 3 or differential equations, things like that, right? Um, you got to get very you gotta get organized. Like for me, I have to plan out a lot of things, and it's not for everybody. It really isn't. But I know getting like a calendar, being able to see all the events that I need to do for a specific week, the homework and stuff like that, it's helped me immensely with not missing any of like my due dates, but also preparing, giving myself enough time, whether it be enough time to study for a test, right? If a test catches you by surprise, then you might not do as well on it. Whereas if you knew about it way beforehand, studied for it way beforehand, then yeah, you're gonna do way, way better. So I think getting organized is definitely one. And the other one is kind of just repeating what everybody else has said. You got to use your resources, and don't be scared to use them. Don't be scared to go to the ILC or go to office hours or go find a tutor outside of everything. Whatever you got to do to help yourself succeed. Don't be afraid of doing that. Marjorie, I can pass it back on to you.
Yeah, like what Damien is saying, it's a really great opportunity that we all have, like to be part of something. So if you can like make study groups, like I would say, I'll keep saying it again, study groups are the best because you might think you know everything, but then getting an idea from somebody else is actually going to help you more than you would have thought. And like sometimes it's giving yourself some mental breaks. It's actually what you would need. You don't have to be on the go all the time. Sometimes you just need to breathe and relax. So like at WakeTake, we have the wellness center. If you feel like, oh my God, this is really heavy on me, you might need to go to the wellness center and get some help. Like they help with like 6 free conflict sessions for a semester. So you might actually see that and you feel a lot better after you do that. Or you might go to the care center as well, like what Damien is saying. They give like assistance. It can be financial assistance or something, just to keep, your mind focused on other things and not to be worrying about, oh my God, I don't have this, So it always helps. I don't know, Kevin, you could tell us more.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with both of y'all's statements. Like I said, I think we can all agree utilizing the school's resources is probably one of the biggest keys. And to piggyback off of what Damien was saying earlier, those study skills, like the IOC offers a whole study skill sessions where they will dedicate some time to, just teaching you study skills. Like one of the biggest study skills that they taught me was a study skill called SQ3R, which is basically, how to analyze textbooks. Like, you just skim it, read it, skim it. You find some questions that you're going to ask it. You read it to try to answer those questions. Then I write down the answers. I recite it, I think is the second word. And then from there, I just, review it every once in a while. I talk to my friends about it. I talk to myself about it every once in a while. I'll talk to my professor about it if I do have some questions, and I'll just keep going on that. And I've noticed that when it comes to, reading textbooks, which was my biggest obstacle since I am dyslexic, I noticed that since that was, my biggest obstacle, once I started implementing some of those study techniques, it really started helping me out. And I feel like, if there's anyone out there like who feels like studying is one of their biggest obstacles, where it's like being able to analyze a textbook or, having a math problem in general, like we offer a lot more than what some people think we did. I mean, the only reason I knew about the study skills with the IOC was because I had a tour with the Michael Here show throughout the IOC, and I learned a lot more about it.
No, I remember that. I think I was there with you that day when they were giving out that tour, Kevin. That was really cool. And we got to talk to a few more students about it. But I like how you started talking about obstacles. Before I go into mine, I know we have a few videos that we're going to share soon. Cale, do you have I know you said this is your first 2 semesters, right? So
Yeah.
as a new student, do you feel like you might have a better perspective than I do as an older student? What type of obstacles do you feel like you might have, started facing as you pursue your degree?
Yeah, well, I have a full-time job, and Wake Tech is part-time for me.
Okay.
So I have like 6 to 8 credits a semester, and I have a small family as well. So I'm one of those unconventional students. I have a lot going on in my life and a lot of challenges to throw, with a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old to raise. And so it's a lot. I sometimes I hope I have a schedule. I look at my schedule, but I'm like, sometimes I'm just so in the thick of things. I just have to try and get through and just focus on what's in front of me and doing that well, and then just keep moving and keep moving.
Definitely staying in the moment, knowing you're only, your next few steps.
Exactly.
I think that helps make things way more manageable. So sometimes we have really big goals, guys, and we want to break them down into something that's smaller, where you might not always be able to see the end, but if you can see your next step, you can always keep going. Does anybody else want to talk about any obstacles?
We actually have some interesting questions in the chat, and
Okay.
please feel free if you've got questions. If you want to say something, just put it in the chat, and we will answer that, and we will address it. So we have a question in the chat that says, "Is Damien the GOAT?" You're gonna tell us, man. Why is
Oh my gosh.
Tell us more. Tell us more. People like.
We only have a few more minutes before our next engineering video, guys, but I can't say if I'm the GOAT or not. That's up for y'all to decide. I'll let y'all decide that. Kevin, Marjorie, they might think I'm the GOAT, but let's get into these next few engineering videos. We've got one from civil engineering, and then we also have one from electrical engineering. Let's go and pull those up.
If you're interested in engineering, you're likely a doer, a thinker, a natural problem solver. At Wake Tech, you can map out a rewarding future with the Civil Engineering Technology program. Civil engineering technology will help you build the skills to plan, analyze, and supervise tasks in the design and construction of transportation and utility infrastructure. Courses and hands-on learning experiences cover everything, from drainage and erosion control to materials testing and site surveying. You'll learn how to use cutting-edge CAD and GIS technology so you can enter the workforce with relevant skills, or continue your education if you choose to. Either way, you'll be prepared for success.
They have some of the best technology for you to actually learn the job that you need to learn when you go out into the real world. It is the best hands-on learning that you can have for a real-world job.
And at Wake Tech, you'll graduate with more than technical skills. You'll learn how to think critically and independently, and how to operate in a professional workplace. Discover civil engineering technology at Wake Tech. Start a career you can connect with. Discover the Electronics Engineering Technology program at Wake Tech. From industrial control systems to retail electronics, the Electronics Engineering Technology program prepares you for a career as an electronics technician, where you will be designing, building, installing, and testing components. You'll learn the fundamentals of electricity, gain experience with microprocessors and logic controllers, and become skilled in maintenance and troubleshooting. No matter what your next career steps may be, our faculty can help you prepare. They offer instruction and guidance that foster critical thinking and independence. Our programs are flexible to meet the unique needs of each student. Learn more about the Electronics Engineering Technology program and discover your future at Wake Tech.
Wow, those were some great videos, and I would love to talk about them a little bit more. But we actually have two special guests who are looking to come in. It's Juby and Hewitt from NC State University. I can't wait for them to come in. I believe they're going to pop in as guests for us guys. But they're going to tell us a little bit about how their engineering degrees and pathways are going over at NCSU.
Okay, thank you for having us today.
Awesome. Hey, Juby, can we hear you?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Awesome. How are you doing?
All right, I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Thank you for coming up here today. We wanted to just talk to you about basically how your life is going at NCSU. As actually, go ahead and tell us your major, man.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm currently doing mechanical engineering.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Perhaps what is mechanical engineering? What type of classes are you taking? Some things like that?
Yeah, of course. So of course, yeah, my name's Juby. I'm a recent alumni, graduated in fall of 2023. So mechanical engineering, the curriculum, you learn a lot about systems, whether it's dynamics, statics, materials, strength of materials, heat transfer. You learn a lot about that. Of course, you have to have a good math and physics background, and that's something that I got at my time at Wake Tech. So right now, right now I have quite a light course load. I'm taking statics, a statistics class, and then mechanical properties of structural materials is the name of another class I'm taking. So yeah.
So you consider that a light load? What is
Yeah, it's only three credits now.
Okay.
It's going to be a lot more than that in later semesters. This is just my first semester at State.
Okay. We have a question actually that I want to talk about as it pops up here on the chat. Valentine Hernandez says, should someone worry if getting their associate in engineering degree is taking more than 2 years? I'll answer this question first, and then Juby, I'm gonna let you, give your opinion on what you think. So, if should you worry if you're getting an associate in engineering is taking more than 2 years? I don't think so. Everybody is on their own pathway and on their own time. And the truth about this stuff is that it's hard. It might take you if you don't have a strong math foundation from you say high school, then you might have to rebuild that, and that can take a little bit of time. But more than anything, it's really your commitment to it, and I really don't think there should be too much worrying. If it's something that you're committed to and you really want it, then if it takes you 2 years, if it takes you 2.5, 3 years, whatever it may be, it's worth it towards your goals. Juby, what do you think?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. For me, actually, it took me more than 2 years. I would say, and of course, there'll be many different reasons why that's the case. I would say it's more important that it actually does get done than how fast it gets done. Of course, it is nicer, right? I don't think anyone disputes that it's nicer if you do it in a quicker time period, but that's kind of how I guess the beauty of going to a community college where you can do things at your own pace, and
Yeah.
things will still work out.
All right, I'm gonna ask you one more question before I pass it off to Kevin. I want to talk about, you say you need to have strong, like, obviously math, physics, calculus background and stuff. And you said you gained that here at Wake Tech. How exactly were your classes or your teachers or any study habits that you were doing? How were they effective for you so that you could perform well enough to be competitive and get your spot in a mechanical engineering major at NCSU?
Oh, of course. So yeah, there's a lot there. So becoming competitive, it really is determined on your grades. The grades, especially coming from a community college and transferring, is probably the most important thing, the biggest factor that they look at. I mean, and just doing well, it's a good habit that you will take on if you go to a four-year university, is just taking advantage of resources. You guys talked about that a lot. You said, you mentioned things like the ILC, or study groups. I would say another thing as well, if your professor has office hours, definitely use it. Professors, I would say, are going to be even more willing. If they weren't before, they're going to be even more willing to help you if they see that you're showing some sort of effort. So I would say definitely taking advantage of as many resources as you possibly can, and just putting the time, actually setting the time. Damien, you also mentioned organizing and using a schedule. That is extremely important, and that's something that I had to implement to find some sort of a consistent success. So yeah, just using your resources, making sure that you're dedicated mentally, physically. You're putting dedication into what you want to accomplish, because it's really just about doing as well as you can in these classes so that you can become more competitive as a transfer applicant.
So it looks like we have a question that's being asked by Mr. Kenneth L. Roberts, which is actually one of our special guests that will be coming later on. But he's asking which engineering areas are the host studying. And so I guess I'll start off since I'm currently talking. But the engineering area I'm trying to go into is biomedical engineering, so I can concentrate in genetic engineering. How about you, Damien?
Yeah, so I'm getting my associate's in engineering obviously right now here at Wake Tech, but I just got accepted as, like I said, I'm a C3 scholar. I just got accepted into NCSU to study aerospace engineering over there. So I'm really happy about that. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Go Pack.
That's congrats. Yeah.
It's something that's very exciting. But Kale, how about you? What is your experience as an engineering major? Like, what are you planning to major in?
Yeah, so I'm associate engineering. That's the transfer track to a four-year degree, and I'm planning on doing a chemical engineering degree. So when I saw Kenneth Roberts as a chemical engineer, I got chemical engineers. I'm wanting to go into nuclear, the fuel cycle side of things, fabrication.
Yeah. So it looks like we have a very well-rounded crowd, from biomedical engineering to aerospace engineering, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, or I guess chemical and nuclear engineering, since our special guest is a chemical engineer. But that is very exciting. And so since we are all in different engineering majors, one of the current questions that has been asked is, has anyone faced issues pertaining to low GPA scores? And I guess for me, I'll start on with this one, because this is actually an issue that I've been battling for a few years now. In 2021, one of my younger brothers passed away, and so when he passed away, my depression really hit. My grades dropped significantly to a level where it's just where I wasn't even considered competitive anymore. And so I've been taking my time at Wake Tech to just slowly build it up. I mean, someone asked about, if you're taking more than 2 years to get your engineering degree, should you be worried? And honestly, my answer to that would be no, you shouldn't be worried. We all go through different circumstances. We all go through different, life stories, and we all face different things. And I think if we're all able to acknowledge that and just accept that we all are living in our own timelines, then I think we're all good with that. But yeah, as for me, back to what I said a lot earlier, just being able to use the school resources really helped me out. And it's helping me get back up to speed, back to where I should be today. And I mean, I'm lucky enough to be saying that I will be graduating this semester. How about anyone else? Has anyone else been facing any, low pertaining GPA scores?
Yeah, I'd say my previous life, my previous degree, I failed math my first year at university. Also, similar family circumstances. My mom was in a car accident and nearly lost her life. And sometimes you're just not in the right space. And it's, and I can say now that I'm doing okay in math. Like, just sometimes you just need that time to process things and to get ready. And sometimes you're just not ready, but you will be ready. And just stay positive and just keep persevering.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. I can go and tell my story, I guess. For me, I remember doing really bad in my second semester, I believe. I was taking physics, and I believe I actually had Juby in my class for physics that semester. We were close friends, or at least good friends, at least in that class, and had some good laughs. But he definitely helped me out on my work a lot. Regardless, I just didn't do that well in that physics class. I borderlined a D on it, or I got a D on that class, and it really tanked my GPA a lot. And obviously that was really unhelpful as I'm trying to work my way up to a better GPA and trying to be like we talked about a little bit before, competitive in that sense. So once that stuff kind of happens to you, it for me it kind of flipped like a switch in terms of like, hey, I need to really like crank down and do better. But for other people, it might not happen like that. For other people, it can really like work on you and destroy you. So you gotta have like a solid mental foundation on what you want for the future, so that when you do, have an issue pertaining a low GPA score, it's not affecting you, so that you can't work yourself out of it, or you're not like digging a hole in that sense. Excuse me. So I think that was really the only time. I also did pretty bad in like calculus, I think, that semester. It just wasn't good. I just didn't have really good study habits. After I worked that up, I started, forming study groups. Thank you, thank you, Dr. Roberts. I started forming study groups with my friends. I took initiative in the classes to like, be like, hey guys, this is when we should meet up, or there's a test. Do you guys want to study in the library this day? Does anybody have the homework for this night? How do we solve this problem? Always asking questions, always trying to go to office hours if you can, and stuff like that. Those are things that are really going to make you, for one, a standout student, but also a better student in that sense. I agree. I know Taj, I don't think we're going to be able to get him on the show for right now. Does anybody have any more questions for Juby? Anybody in the chat as well? You guys don't forget to drop your questions in the chat. But other than that, we have a few more videos going on for mechanical engineering, and then we want to introduce one of our special guests.
If you're a problem solver who enjoys hands-on work, Wake Tech's Mechanical Engineering Technology program, Mechatronics, could be your first step toward an especially rewarding career. Mechanical engineering technicians work in advanced manufacturing, fabrication, research and development, and even service industries. Our program prepares you for a variety of careers. From applied mechanics to computer-aided drafting, you'll study physics and math and build skills you can use in the field or apply toward a 4-year degree. Graduates of this program have multiple options to transfer to a university and go on to earn a Bachelor of Science. The Mechatronics track also includes courses in electric circuit analysis and fluid power and automation.
Anything that we buy or use, it has to not break. So someone has to design cars, someone has to design dishwashers, someone has to design airplanes, and someone has to design assembly lines. So we have to make sure they don't break. So it will show up in all aspects of life. Some things people may see, some things people may not see, but what you do, people will be directly affected by.
Find out how you can assemble an exciting future in mechanical engineering technology. Explore the Mechatronics program at Wake Tech.
Well, that was an amazing video that just went pop by. And so for anyone considering the technician field, just know engineering is always looking for technicians. And I am sure that, one of our special guests can probably go in depth into that. Very shortly, special guest Dr. Kenneth Roberts will be joining us. He is a chemical engineer and former professor at NCANT State University. And we're just very excited to have him on the show.
Oh, there I am. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for inviting me to the show. Very nice show. I think what's great, I've been teaching engineering. I've taught all of your majors, aerospace, nuclear, mechanical. I've had students in all of those majors. And I actually spent some time at NC State while I was at A&T for about 10 years. So I'm very familiar with the expectations, NC State, Georgia Tech, things like that. I love what you guys are commenting on. I think one comment you mentioned about time and the time required. When the people come, say if you want to interview for anywhere from corporate to grad school to right now I'm doing more public service, government, type work, research work. What you find is the interviewers, they don't really care about time. I'll tell you a secret. I play clarinet and saxophone. And my clarinet private teacher was an electrical engineer down in Atlanta. Finished down in Atlanta. And Mr. Bevins, he told me about how school used to be in the 40s and 50s for engineering. It was a 6-year program, minimally. And you had classes on Saturdays, classes at night. What we do now, and let's see, Juby, you're at State now? Yeah, do you have all these classes on Saturday and Sunday afternoon and things anymore? No, it's been compacted to this 4-year ideal type schedule. So don't worry about that. Nobody asked you, oh, did you do it in 3.9 or 2.3 years or something like that? All they care about is your performance. The other question, I love that too, about grades. Who knows what happens once you start working after about 6 months? Do people ask you, like, what was your GPA or your fundamentals of engineering exam score or anything after 6 months? No. All they care about is the kind of training that you're getting now. I will have to tell you, I'm almost ashamed I started teaching at 27 and I'm in my 50s now. So I've been teaching a lot in different countries as well, in the Middle East and in Africa, is that what you find is after 6 months, as long as you're doing well, people could care less about your GPA. And the kind of training that you're getting, where you have a great student-to-teacher ratio, you don't have the distractions. A lot of the four-year colleges, you're probably seeing it. There's a lot of distractions that you don't have to worry about now in college. And I love how a couple other things, working in groups, seeking out help. Don't put that pressure on yourself where you come. When I was an undergrad, I thought I'd have to be like, Einstein or some famous scientist scribbling in the night, trying to derive every equation from scratch. And that's not it. As engineers to be, you will find that you'll have engineering design groups, engineering teams. You will always work with others. And like you're doing now, you'll find that you'll work with engineers from different fields. And you'll all have to come up with the interdisciplinary jargon so you all can talk to each other. That's reality. When I teach design, I encourage my chemies or mechanicals, or I've had electricals and other students in my design classes and senior classes to work together and to make it more like reality, what you're going to see. And I'm a big proponent of that as an educator. I like for you all to see the real experience. I love when my former students, many of them are around here in the Raleigh area, all around, some are abroad when I was abroad. When they come back and say, Doc, I really appreciate what you tried to teach, what you taught me in class, because I used it. And I really love it when they use it the first, job assignment, something I've given them, because I try to stay, make sure you guys are close to industry, like you're getting now, because that's the one who's going to employ all of us. that was something else that kind of popped into my head. So we have mechanical and aerospace. Nuclear does some of this. Biomedical definitely does some of this. Are you guys doing any SolidWorks or AutoCAD before you go off to your like future programs? You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with all of you. If you wanted to work and go to school like part time, knowing that alone, you're gonna make at least between 55 and 75K a year just doing SolidWorks and AutoCAD. There's so many jobs they will. That was something. If you're looking to keep going, I applaud you. The more education that you obtain, not only the higher your starting salary, but the more marketable you are over time. Now, if you're looking at industry, I will tell you the masters is where you need to stop. You know, whether it's an MS in engineering or MBA or Master of Science in Management. If you get really crazy like me and say, I want to do a doctorate, make sure you want to do it. It's a lot of long hours, several years beyond, your associate or bachelor's degree. And you'll find that we learn a lot about it very little. We specialize a lot. So if you're trying to market yourself, it's more challenging than having the associates or the bachelor's or the master's degree. So keep that in mind as you're, obtaining more and more of your education. Now, a couple of things. Let's see. I guess I have about 10 more minutes. A couple of things I wanted to kind of chat with you all on and get your opinion. There's a very famous, I don't know what you call him. Is he electrical? Elon Musk, the Tesla founder, and Sun City, the solar panel, and now I guess what is it? Brain machine interface, Neuralink in the biomedical field, the tunnels, boring company that digs tunnels under a lot of large cities. He's actually told people, don't worry about going to college at all. He'd tell you, don't worry about it. Just get your high school diploma. We'll hire you somewhere. What I want you to do, how many of you have LinkedIn accounts? I restarted my LinkedIn account recently. And if you need that information, I think Mr. Michael can help you with that. He's linked up with me. We're linked up to each other. So he said, don't worry about college. Don't worry about an education. Just show up and we'll give you a job. I want you to look at his company. I have some former students who finished up at A&T that I know of that work for him now. And all the jobs, they say they want at least some type of college. They don't say just walk up to the HR office with your diploma. There's some type of education experience that you need. And I really think it's a disservice to future engineers to tell people, oh, don't get an education, don't worry about it. If anything, I always say in my classes, things are becoming more technical. So the things that you were studying, this will make you in the top 1% or even higher, 0.1% of all the people on the earth. Almost no one knows what you know to date now. So that's number one. Number two, I love this town. I've been in Greensboro for many years, but I work in the Raleigh-Cary area now with the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. One thing that I've noticed here is it's highly technical. IT, tech business, also biomedical and the pharma, biotech. Now in the state, you probably notice aerospace. Also, if you have any electronics friends, we're building two, I think it's a total of almost, approaching $15 to $20 billion in new EV car manufacturing in this state alone with VinFast and Toyota. So if anything, you're going to find that things are becoming more technical. And people like us, the world is going to need more people like us, and there will always be jobs for us. Number three, I guess I was asked too because I have a lot of experience at North Carolina A&T. I think one advantage you're going to find with A&T is the focus is on the students and your success. I'm not saying NC State doesn't want the same thing, but you're going to find more, probably 200, 300, 400 student classes. Typically, when I taught at A&T, our classes were no more than 30 or 40. So if you wanted office hours, we have an open door office policy. You can meet with us Monday through Friday. We'd have study sessions on Saturday, sometimes Sunday afternoon. If you want to learn, we're there to make sure you learn. And then I'd always tell my students, if you get, bored after work and you want to move up, go somewhere huge. Even though they have MS and PhDs at A&T, go to state. Go to Virginia Tech, go to Georgia Tech, and I had many who did that. If you stay in engineering, so that if you choose to go to an engineering college that maybe is not as big as state, the word can spread. And I have many students that finish doctorates in bioengineering at state. They finished, I think Illinois, Delaware. I have many, you're engineers. You can also do medical doctorates. Had students who did pharmacy at Chapel Hill or medical degrees at different. One actually, she was from Chicago. She finished her master's, and then Dr. Francis has her MD, PhD, and is a professor and a medical doctor in the Chicago area. The main thing is that you go. I'm not going to twist your arm and say, oh, you only can go to Greensboro. If you come here to Raleigh, that is fantastic. If you go to Atlanta, my other alma mater, along with USC and Columbia, South Carolina, that's great. If you go abroad, many of my students, I taught at Saudi Arabia at King Faisal University for 2 years. I've had students apply to schools in I would say the Gulf region. So like in Emirates and also in Saudi Arabia. So, and taught in Lebanon. So it's a global, I just sent a letter of student, he wants to study in China, in Beijing. So it's a multinational. You have that multinational or international type connection, use it to your advantage. Multiple languages, multiple experiences. Okay, here's a question. Considering most jobs ask the same kind of experience, what do you recommend as far as getting experience while in school? Great question. Now, you guys are in engineering, applied science heaven here in the Raleigh, Durham area. One thing that you can look at, and these are some programs, I think the last time I was at Wake Tech North, I started sending information out to the faculty to give to the students for the chapter that was there. There are many research opportunities that you can do not only, I would say primarily look at schools that have the graduate programs. I'm pretty sure now your college or many faculty who obtain grants from the National Science Foundation and Environmental Protection Agency, Department of Energy. Let's see, what's the nuclear? What is it? It'll come to me. There's a Nuclear Regulatory Commission that gives money for research in nuclear. That you can do research at your own institution or actually branch out, do summer experiences. There's a ton of national labs, as well as the companies. Many of the companies, what I've been doing along with work is I'm also this year's professional development chair for the Research Triangle Professionals for the National Society of Black Engineers. What I'm doing is spreading the word to everyone I talk to, including yourselves, about opportunities. I'm talking with companies, trying to open up more opportunities for all of our colleges in there. And I will have to tell you, what you're learning now, companies are after you already. So research while you're in college, looking at the research centers. In the Triangle alone, you have the National Institutes of Health. There's a big research center there. RTI does multi area research. There's an EPA, and then the companies. I mean, I think Kevin, your biomedical, you have 111 minimum biomedical companies. I'm losing count of the IT companies. Nuclear, we're one of the few states that is building nuclear plants. Along with the Department of Energy nuclear sites in Aiken, South Carolina. It does Oak Ridge National Labs. Mechanical, I always say as a chem, we're jealous of mechanicals because you guys get all the jobs. Chemicals, we're like, they say, oh, Chemie, you can make this amount of money. So yeah, if you find a job in chemical engineering, all of your fields, it's a lot easier to find a job. Aerospace, we have Marshall, Aerospace in Greensboro, Boone Supersonic. Boeing is right down the street in the North Charleston area by the airport. So all of your areas, you will have opportunities to really expand your wings and do different opportunities. So great question. If you like any specific advice, please drop a note to Mr. Michael and he can let me know and I'll get back with you on that.
Yeah. Well, really, very quick. We have one of our co-hosts who joined us, Taj. So feel free to introduce yourself to Dr. Roberts.
Hi, Dr. Roberts. My name is Taj Hewitt.
Hi, Taj.
I'm a student at State now doing bio and ag engineering. I
Excellent.
used to be the host of this show when I was at Wake Tech, so it's good to be back. And I enjoyed everything you were just talking about, giving some really good insight about the different companies that are looking for engineers nowadays.
Oh, that's another one, Taj, and also Juby. You guys are at State, and State has a beautiful Centennial campus. You can go there all the time to do research, kind of activities. They have companies on the Centennial campus. So all of you studying here in Wake County, I just sent an announcement out. It was an Advanced Energy Corporation on the Centennial campus at NC State. They're looking for people to hire as well. And there's a multitude of companies like startup firms, bio, energy, microelectronics that are coming out of this county. So you guys are really blessed to be here where all of the engineering takes place in the Triangle area. So, well, nice to meet you, Taj. And I know my time is kind of running out. Oh, 10-year. Okay, if you had a 10-year-old daughter, how would you go about inspiring her to explore the field of engineering? Okay, thank you, Malik. Number one, and I'll tell you, my son Kenny, he's a junior in college now. Number one is you need to do the science fair with your daughter. Most of the research shows in engineering and applied science education that between 3rd and 7th grade, that's when we lose all of our engineers in terms of going on to study in college. So encourage them. Be an advocate. A lot of times you'll find that the biggest, and this is what the research shows, is a lot of the teachers who unfortunately are female do not encourage females to go into STEM. So be there. I had one teacher, she was telling my son that a liquid was a gas. I mean, it was a fluid, but I had to kind of explain the states of matter to the teacher in like 4th grade. I didn't blame her because, they don't really have to study chemistry and, to get the educational background. But advocate for your daughter. Make sure that your teachers know that you were serious about her learning math, about her learning science, about doing extra things like the Robotics League, the Science Fair, the Science Olympiad here in the Wake County area. Always push them. The teachers as well, to know that you're there and you're watching as a parent. We had to do the same thing, 13 years. Okay, thank you for that question.
I can actually add to that a little bit, Dr. Roberts, because this semester I've been volunteering with the Science Olympiad actually. And
Excellent.
so I helped twice. One time was to judge the students building towers. So those are towers out of wood that are designed to hold up 15 kilograms of sand. And that was elementary kids. And the other one was to build roller coasters. And that was middle school kids. And when I tell you the amount of different designs and innovation that I saw, I didn't think that you had kids doing those kind of things.
It's an amazing program, isn't it? When I was really active and we were working between A&T State, Chapel Hill, a few other schools, I would go to regionals. I went to national maybe once or twice, judge different competitions in Taj. You bring up a great point for everyone. If you have the opportunity to tutor, even working in like middle school, high school, elementary, or at the college, that you're attending, and maybe I'm biased as a professor, the more you teach your topics, the more you have to learn it in depth. And it makes you a stronger engineer and strong applied scientist when you get out there and actually use the information. So think about, plus you get paid too. That's another job. I tutored from sophomore year on through grad school and then started teaching full time. So it's a great way to earn extra cash as well. So and you can do it online now too, I think. Okay, good. Very good. Well, everyone, do you have any questions for me? And like I said, reach out to Mr. Michael. He has my contact information. We're linked together on LinkedIn. So if you want to, I'm Kenneth Roberts on LinkedIn. Kenneth L. Roberts here in the Raleigh area. So I should be pretty easy to find. And I want to thank you all again for inviting me to the show. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you very much for blessing us with your wisdom, Dr. Roberts. You'll definitely have some questions following up after this. But in the meantime, everyone, let's say a goodbye to Mr. Cale and Juby. They will be leaving soon to make some space for our next special guests. So thank you very much for your cooperation, Mr. Cale and Juby. Feel free to say bye.
Enjoy. Bye. Bye-bye.
And in the meantime, we will be playing a video to I guess just commemorate what Mr. Roberts has been saying. He will be joining us back again shortly with the rest of our hosts. But thank you very much, everyone, for paying attention and just enjoy the video.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2023 Spring Commencement for North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. Please remain standing for Lift Every Voice and Sing, led by the University Choir. Let's give them another round of applause, please. Thank you. Thank you.
That was a phenomenal video. In the meantime, while we do solve some technical difficulties, Taj, how are you enjoying your time at NC State?
It's really good, man. It's really good. Barely anything to complain about, if anything at all. I mean, it's just a great environment to study and do what you want to do.
Yeah, you can. It says Juby and Taj. What's the biggest difference you've noticed between community college and a four-year university? So, Taj, feel free to elaborate.
Sure, man. Biggest difference I'd say is definitely the environment. I mean, at a four-year university, it's almost as if there's every school has their own culture, and there's always something to do on campus. You can never run out of different activities to join in, clubs, meet new people. Those things are always going to be there. Where, I mean, at community college, while it does have those things, it's a lot more limited. Um, but I think community college definitely is a good experience to have. Ms. Vesta,
Hi there.
hi.
Hey, well, thank you very much for your input, Taj. Here we have our special guest, Miss Muffy, and I know you have a lot of links to your name, so feel free to elaborate about yourself. Speak, let us know who you are.
Vestal. No, when we invited the Michael Ure show here, we had no idea how fabulous it would be. It's so great to see you, Taj. It's great. I was on a show with Taj last year, and it was great. Stressful like it is now because you've asked me to be here and you've seen me out there, and then I hustled back here, and Cale has loaned me his computer. But I'm hoping that all of you out in the audience are filling out your survey. That survey is going to enable us to do something like this again. I'm hoping you're going to come back Thursday because we've got many exciting things planned for you Thursday, but I really think this is a time for students to talk to students about their experiences. And of course, I thoroughly enjoyed hearing from Dr. Roberts, and I know you all did also, because I'm a big A&T fan. So thank you. Are there any questions or anything? I hope you're getting plenty of pizza to eat. There's pizza left over back there, cupcakes and cookies. So please help yourself. And I really want to give a big shout out to, and I'm calling him, I put the in front of his name now. He is the Michael Ure. He's no longer just Michael Ure. He is the Michael Ure. So I think we should all give him a real hand out there in the audience. And I want to hear how much you appreciate this, because he's the one that brings us all together. I told him he is the glue in our programs here at Wake Tech. He can combine the North Campus with the South Campus. Now, who can do that? Only the Michael Ure, right? And so creative, so outgoing. I've only been here, it's been less than 2 years, a little less than 2 years. And Michael was one of the very first people to approach me and, fill in all the gaps that no one else had done. So I just appreciate you. I think we had a good turnout, don't you all? Do we have any questions or anything in the audience that you want to say?
I would like to, sorry, I would like to just answer that question that we had in the chat first, if I can.
All right, so Juby, the question was, what's the biggest difference you've noticed between a community college and a four-year university?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know Taj answered that as well. I kind of missed what he said, but I'm sure he said something like it's probably it's just a lot bigger. Classes are bigger, of course. The campus is bigger, and I guess there are just a lot more opportunities, a lot more clubs. So I would even like to probably say that could be a bit intimidating, but coming from Wake Tech, I know this especially that you are especially prepared for this. So what I would just say is that just kind of enjoy the experience. It'll be a new one, but understand that you are prepared for what does come next in a 4-year.
Well, thank you very much for that valuable advice. Unfortunately, we are reaching the final moments of the show. So really quick, just thank you everyone for watching. And Ms. Muffy, feel free to send us off with a generous quote from you.
A generous quote from me. Come back Thursday.
Come back Thursday.
Come back Thursday. We want to see you Thursday. More pizza and cupcakes and cookies. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Taj. Thank you, Juby. We've enjoyed your show immensely.
It's good to see you again.
Thank you. Oh, I'll get them. What?